Picture this: a sunny Saturday morning in Maplewood Heights, a sleepy little suburb just outside Raleigh, North Carolina, where the lawns are manicured, the mailboxes are regulation-sized, and the neighborhood HOA rules with an iron fist. I'm Jake, just a regular guy trying to declutter before moving cross-country, setting up a yard sale in my front yard. Think folding chairs, a box of old tools, a cooler of sodas, and Springsteen humming from a Bluetooth speaker. Everything's perfect, until my neighbor Linda, the self-crowned queen of the HOA, decides to turn my quiet little sale into a 5-alarm dumpster fire, all because she can't stand anyone stepping out of her perfectly controlled lines. It all started innocently enough. I'd spent days organizing this sale, taping neon signs around the block, pricing everything just right: $5 for a lamp, $10 for a toolbox. You get the idea. I'm inside grabbing a coffee, maybe 7 minutes tops, when I hear this commotion, like a Black Friday stampede. I step out, and it's chaos: strangers swarming my lawn, stuffing my stuff into wagons, SUVs, even a guy in a bathrobe hauling off my weed eater like he's won the lottery. A lady's yelling, "Thanks, Linda," as she drags my patio table down the street. I'm standing there, jaw on the grass, shouting, "Whoa, hold up, this isn't free." But they just point to their phones, saying, "It's on Craigslist, man-free yard sale, everything must go." I grab a guy's phone, and there it is, a full-color photo of my yard, my exact address, and a headline screaming, "Free stuff today." And at the bottom, like a cherry on this nightmare Sunday, is Linda's smug HOA headshot, the same one she plasters on every newsletter, watermarked Linda and her star, JPG. I'm livid, but the damage is done. Half my tools are gone, my cooler's empty, and someone's even snagged my uncle's old folding table, the one he gave me before he passed. I try to explain it's a lie, but people just shrug, hop in their cars, and peel out, yelling, "Thank you, mystery lady." I'm left standing in my yard, feeling like I've been robbed in broad daylight, and Linda's nowhere in sight, probably cackling from her pristine porch across the street. Now, Linda's always been a control freak. Think perfectly mowed lawn, color-coded planters, and a mailbox with her initials engraved in gold, which, by the way, breaks HOA rules, but nobody dares call her out. She's the kind who'd fine you for a bird feeder or a wind chime that's too loud. Last month, she tried to ban solar lights because they disrupted the aesthetic. Me? I've stayed off her radar, mostly, but this yard sale, my one chance to clear out before moving, apparently pushed her over the edge. She'd strolled by that morning on her 7 a.m. patrol, clipboard in hand, muttering, "Hope you got this approved, Jake." I laughed it off. HOA rules allow 2 sales a year, and I hadn't used mine since Obama was president. But Linda doesn't like unapproved anything, and instead of talking to me, she went nuclear, posting that ad to sabotage me, thinking she'd teach me a lesson and walk away clean. I could have screamed, could have marched over and banged on her door, but I didn't. I took a deep breath, went inside, and sat down with my laptop, because if Linda wanted a war, she was about to get one, and I wasn't going to fight dirty, I was going to fight smart. See, I remembered something from last summer's HOA picnic, when Linda, 3 glasses deep in cheap rose, bragged about her vintage record collection, rare vinyls, some signed, stored in a climate-controlled shed out back, worth more than her car. She even let slip her shed's keypad code, her birthday, flipped backward, because it's so clever. I filed that away, not planning to use it, but now it felt like a loaded gun in my pocket. I wasn't about to break in, that's not my style, but if Linda thought she could humiliate me in public, I could play that game too. And I had 5 days left in Maplewood Heights to make it count. That afternoon, I walked by her place, casual as you please, and saw those records through the shed window, gleaming under spotlights like they were in a museum. I smiled because Linda had just handed me the perfect weapon, her obsession with her image. She didn't just love those records, she loved people knowing she had them. So I got to work, crafting a Craigslist ad of my own, not illegal, not traceable, just vague enough to sting. Eccentric collector giving away rare vinyl records for Earth Day. Corner of Oak and Sycamore, Saturday, 10 a.m. Bring a crate. Early birds welcome. No address, no photos, just a nudge to the curious. Then I copied Linda's neon arrow signs, pointing straight to her house, and went to bed with a grin. Saturday morning, I'm sipping coffee on my porch, watching the show unfold. People start trickling in, record nerds with tote bags, kids with parents, Even a guy streaming on Instagram Live. Linda's out front by 10:15, in yoga pants she's never sweated in, screaming, "This is private property. Get off my lawn." A teenager shrugs and says, "Lady, it's a sidewalk." Someone else asks, "Aren't you giving away records?" Linda's face goes beet red, and she starts waving her phone, yelling about calling the cops. I stroll over, coffee still in hand, and say, "Just returning the favor, Linda." She glares, storms inside, and slams the door so hard her fancy mailbox crest wobbles. I didn't touch her stuff, didn't break a single law, just let her own paranoia do the heavy lifting. But I wasn't done. Linda's the type who thrives on control, so I decided to crank up the pressure. I posted a Facebook event, Spring Sustainability Swap, Oak and Sycamore. Bring old records, tapes, anything retro. Rare vinyls spotted nearby. No lies, just a spark to light the neighborhood gossip. By Thursday, I overheard joggers whispering about Linda's secret record stash. I printed flyers, slipped one in her mailbox perfectly legal, and imagined her reading vintage vinyl sighting and losing it. Friday night, I dropped another Craigslist post. Community record exchange, possible collector gems, curbside display near Oak and Sycamore. By Saturday, a small crowd is milling around her corner, peeking at her shed, and Linda's out there again, clutching a clipboard, shrieking, "I'm recording you all." She even holds up her unplugged security cameras like a madwoman. A neighbor calls the cops, not her. A neighbor, because Linda's yelling at a kid for loitering on the sidewalk. When the officer arrives, I show him Linda's original Craigslist ad, complete with her selfie. He chuckles, looks at her, and says, "Ma'am, maybe lay off Craigslist for a bit." Linda's silent, marches back inside, and I know I've hit a nerve. The neighborhood's buzzing now, dog walkers, mailbox chats. Everyone's got a Linda story. The HOA's fed up too. They call an emergency meeting, not about budgets or mulch, but about Linda. I sit in the back, watching her in her red blazer, acting like she's untouchable. The board reads a list: her fake ad, her Facebook rants, her meltdown, her yelling at a kid. Linda tries to interrupt, saying she's protecting community values, but someone laughs, and the room turns. They vote 14-1 to strip her of all HOA power. She walks out, robotic, muttering about a witch hunt. And just like that, her reign's over. The fallout's beautiful. Kids draw chalk art without fear. Neighbors wave like they mean it. Linda's shed stays locked, her patrols stop, her posts vanish. The HOA even creates a Linda filter for her petty complaints. But she tries one last desperate movie: a letter from a shady lawyer accusing me of harassment, then a restraining order claiming I terrorized her. At the hearing, she's all drama, sunglasses indoors, fake limp, a binder of nonsense. My lawyer shows her ad, our screenshots, and neighbor statements. The judge shuts her down in 5 minutes. No evidence. Case dismissed. Linda storms out, and I feel not anger, just peace. A month later, a delivery van drops a huge box at her house: a new record player, maybe, or a decoy to save face. The neighborhood group chat lights up, joking about her comeback. But Linda's done, retreated to her silent resentment, and I'm okay with that. I've got one last surprise, though something small, legal, already in motion, set to land when she least expects it. I won't spoil it, but let's just say karma's got my number on speed dial. So what do you think? Was I too harsh, or did Linda get what she deserved? Drop a comment, tell me your craziest neighbor story, and let's talk about what justice looks like in a place like Maplewood Heights. Hit that like button if you're Team Jake, and subscribe for more stories where the little guy fights back and wins.